So I think that you can look at motivation as being the engine for your startup. Your motivation is what makes you get up every morning and work on your project. So you have to make sure that your business structure, your business, your activities in your business goals are aligned with your personal goals, so you stay motivated. We know it's very hard to start a business. It takes years, there are numerous challenges, and you have to stay motivated. What I've seen happening too often is people start a business, and 2 or 3 years later or 4 years later, they work on this business and they realize that it's not satisfying their personal objectives. Basically, that their business is not making them happy. So why do you want to start a business? Do you want to make a difference for society? Do you want to help people? Do you want to make lots of money for yourself? Do you want to have lots of time for your hobbies? Do you want to live an adventure? Whatever your motivation is okay. But you have to be very clear about them so that you structure your business around your personal objectives. Oh, my personal motivation was freedom. I was working for a large corporation and I thought I was making too many compromises in how I was working, the type of products I was working on. So I really thought by starting my own business, I'm in full control. I can choose the products I'm going to sell, the services I'm going to provide. I can choose how I work with people, how I treat my employees. So to me, it was about making my own decisions and being fully responsible for the success or for the failure of my business.
I had worked for 15 years in big companies such as Hewlett-Packard and Nokia. When I started looking around me and I noticed that the startup world was very, very interesting and there was a lot of things happening. Startups interested me because I was looking for something fast-moving where I could make an impact by working in a smaller team.
So first of all, my background, my personal background, I'm a designer, I'm a creative person. My second background is marketing because I made a degree in marketing. The choice of creating a company based on a product development, on a goods development, of course, is linked to my creative side.
Basically, I started this kind of side job more by excitement than nothing else. I didn't have any plan, any like big money plan or anything like this in mind, but just by excitement. And widening the scope of work was really the two motivation.
There's really no other setting you can get that much experience that fast and in a very broad range of different disciplines from business to the technical side.
I was ready to experiment something by myself, to prove to myself that I could run a startup and create something from scratch. And it was an amazing experience, an incredible feeling of freedom.
Very few entrepreneurs think of their personal objectives and the way they structure your businesses. The decision whether or not to have investors should be a personal decision. It's a very different lifestyle. And at the end, there is no right or wrong in having an investors or not, but it's a lifestyle decision. For example, if your personal objective is freedom, if it's really important for you to do what you like, to create what you like, probably investors are not a good idea. If what's important to you is to make a difference to society very quickly, make a difference in the lives of thousands of people, then probably having investors will help you. You will work in a more structured environment, but you will achieve the societal goal faster. If you tell me you're someone that wants to spend a lot of time on their hobbies, have a lot of free time, and think entrepreneurship is a good way to work part-time and make enough money to live, that's a possibility. But probably you shouldn't be working in a B2B business, in a service business, where your clients are going to be in control of your time. It's the same thing with really business variables. Look at fixed costs versus variable costs. Usually if you have more fixed costs, you can achieve more profits. You're going to achieve higher profit margins. But it's also much more stressful. My friends who have high fixed cost companies are very stressed because you have to pay these fixed costs every month. If you're stress resistant, you don't mind, go for it. If you're someone like me who prefers to have a little bit of free time, etc., I keep variable costs, even if my margins are lower. So that's what I encourage people to do. Think about their personalities, their personal needs, and then structure the business around that. The reality is at the beginning there is a dream. I think when entrepreneurs start, they have a dream, it's like a white page. There are no constraints. I wanted to start a chocolate brand. And 10 years later, the reality is I'm selling semi-manufactured gold to watch companies. So yes, I would say that you will have to make compromises, mostly because you have to align yourself with the market needs. And that's the reality most entrepreneurs face, is that you have this vision and you have to adjust your vision to the realities of the markets. But if you think of customer discovery, it's a little bit like that. You take students, they have a dream of a startup, and you say, wait a minute, go see the customers and see what they want. And you have to adjust to what they want. So in that, there is already kind of a compromise, which to me doesn't mean the end of motivation, not at all, but it means you're making a compromise. At the end, I think one of the main motivations as an entrepreneur is to make other people happy. I realized that actually pretty late, 3 or 4 years into my business, that what motivates me the most today is when I have a client who writes us an email and say, oh, we got your chocolate, it was amazing, thank you very much. I think that's what makes the entrepreneurs the most happy, the biggest motivation. And the same is true with employees. When I have an employee saying, oh, this is a dream job and I'm really loving what I'm doing here, that's one of the biggest motivation.